good mythical morning. That's what they used to do on I think they still do that. Good mythical morning channel. I used to watch them like a lot when I was little. But anyways, so the first one is make up your bed. Make sure you make your bed first thing in the morning. It's a good habit because it puts you in a good mood. Maybe not necessarily, but I make up my bed for a couple reasons. Maybe not a couple, just whatever that comes to mind. But the main reason is anytime that I have a bad day, I could come home to a already made up bed. So all I could do is just lie down, and at least that's a good ending to to a bad day. That's how I see it, right? I like to make sure I make up my bed because I feel good. It just feels good to at least do something productive in the morning, which is just make up your bed. Like you see how my bed made up. My bed is made up. I mean, yeah, okay, it doesn't look that, but it's terrible. But when I wake up, right, it's like all over. Pillows like here, blanket is like somehow inside out. Like this is good, right? Make sure I make up my bed. It again puts you in a nice mood. You just feel good because you did something right in the morning. And well, yeah, if you have a bad day, you come home to a nice made up bed. So the next one is rinse yourself after every use of the washroom. Oh yeah, by the way, this is like little notes now. Just I don't use scripts. I try not to do scripts to make it like my actual videos to be raw and genuine. So I just have bullet points here. So just want to rinse yourself. So what this means is every time you use the washroom, you go and rinse yourself in the bathroom. So just like a quick rinse, right? Basically every time you take a shit or you poop or whatever, right? I like to make sure I feel clean. So every time I use the washroom, I grab my towel, go and I rinse off myself, and it just feels so much better. You feel so much comfortable in your own skin. Like imagine you take a shit, you wipe yourself, okay, and let's say you have to go out. You still gonna feel like shitty bottom. You know your bottom still gonna feel a little something, right? And that does not feel nice. And I did not like that. So I said I'm gonna make the habit to have every time I use the washroom, I go and rinse myself off. And it doesn't even cost that much. All you do is after you finish do your business, take your towel, go rinse your boss, right? Rinse your bottom. It's like this is the first video early morning, so of course stuttering is expected, right? But I make sure I just rinse myself after I use the washroom. It's also a very good habit because you don't smell and you feel very comfortable in your own skin, and your confidence also goes up and you have more pride in yourself. Like you take good care of yourself, right? Your self-respect goes up. So make sure you rinse yourself every time you use the washroom, right? That's a very good habit. The next one is leave the toilet seat down. Now I don't really know why I do this, but I always like to make sure the toilet seat is down. I got this from my dad. He told me it's a good habit because there's ladies in the house, so it's more like a gentleman's skill. And I don't really know the meaning, but I always like to make sure the toilet seat is done. I think because you don't want to like watch down into it right after someone uses it, because like it's gonna be like brown stains on the walls of the toilet or fucking yellow water. Like you don't want to see that shit, right? So I guess it would make sense. Plus when you flush, have always have the toilet seat down when you flush too. That's the next thing, because bro, it's still gonna smell. It's still gonna flipping smell. So always have the toilet seat down, right? I guess it's a good habit and a gentleman's skin. I don't know about the gentleman's skin much, but I just do it. It's just a good habit to do overall. Fourth one is fasting. This one you hear this all the time, right? It's like it's nice to fast, right? I'm not really gonna get into it deep because like yes, I know you smart. Like I'm not gonna explain why fasting is good too much, but it's just a nice good thing to do, right? Because when you ever realize that anytime you eat, your stomach full or whatever, and I don't recommend eating until you're full, right? Anytime you eat, right, you always feel like sleepy or tired. You wanna like sit down, do nothing. I always like to make sure I eat around 12, which is all no, but I haven't eaten yet, so I'll go and eat after I make this video. And I just make sure I eat right and all that. But yeah, fasting is just something simple. Just make sure I don't really recommend eat breakfast. No, I know I like to have balance in my life. So on certain days I would eat breakfast, yeah, but not all the time. It's kind of rare. And even if I eat in breakfast, I'd make sure I like something small, not heavy or anything, like a fruit or some shit, right? But yeah, make sure you do some fasting or try to. I know it was hard for me in the beginning because I was always accustomed eating my fat ass full of food, but take your time, right? You can do like small little things, right? Doesn't have to be big. Small things could be example like if you are accustomed eating 6 o'clock in the morning or like straight after you wake up, you could try to practice waiting 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, like small things, right? So with that being said, that's the fourth one. The fifth one is, and the last one, well, there's two more, but I'll just do fifth one, right? Because I wrote down six, but forget the six. It doesn't really sound good when you have like top six, or here's 6 ways to, maybe 6 ways could work. I could, fuck it, I could just include the sixth one. So the fifth one is groom yourself. So like how I look right now, I make sure I take care of my hair. I make sure I put coconut oil, I comb my hair. Make sure I dress right. You're not gonna smell, but I like this little small sprays of perfume, deodorant. Just make sure you take good care of yourself. It's all about like how do you want yourself to feel, right? I want to make sure I feel like I respect myself and I feel comfortable in being myself. So I make sure I groom myself. I cut my nails. I cut my toenails. I make sure I shave, right? I take care of myself, right? Basic hygiene and shit, right? Brush my teeth every day. Use mouthwash, perfume, dress well, right? Little things, right? Groom yourself. Make sure you take, because that is an automatic confidence. Like first of all, your confidence automatically goes up. Self-respect automatically goes up, and your pride, right? Don't have too much pride, but yeah, you know what it is. So have some pride in yourself, confidence, and you feel good, you feel powerful, yeah. And the last one is water intake. Very simple, very underrated. I find myself also not doing it as much as I should. Speaking of which, hey, so make sure you drink a lot of water. I think it's about I can't remember how much. I think it's like 3 liters of water a day or something. I don't really remember. 3.4 liters, I believe. Right. Just make sure you drink a lot. Make sure you drink lots of liquid, because first of all, I realize myself to have. I realize again a lot of some dry skin. You know, like when you scratch yourself, it comes out white, right? So you don't want that, right? You wanna make sure you drink enough water, because first of all, your energy goes up, right? Your energy is up because you're hydrated. There's just so much benefits with drinking water, like bro, it's like a basic need, right? So make sure you drink lots of liquid, and don't drink too much in one sitting, because I remember back then when there used to be a lot of heat waves. I mean, there's still heat waves here and there, but people used to drink like water, like just straight water, like just drink one bottle of water and then right after next bottle of water and then right after next bottle of water. I think there was a lady who drank like 4 bottle of waters or something like that straight. She died. She died because it was way too much water intake. So try to sip waters. Try to sip your water when you're drinking water. You don't really drink. You sip, right? You sip, right? So, and it's not you sip throughout the day, or you drink a good bit of water here and there. But I prefer not to do that, because you know, even after you drink some water, you're still gonna feel a little bit thirsty. So prefer to sip. I like what I did. I prefer to sip my water. So with that being said, that is 6 ways to make 6 habits that will just make your day a little bit better. Hopefully, of course, once you implement it, and you never know until you try, right? Right. So with that being said, take care and enjoy.